Red flags. Yes, we are talking about red flags today. I can actually visualize a red flag like this. Yeah. How are you? Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Muthoni's Mission. If you've just joined us, we are all about our emotional and mental wellness and awareness. And please subscribe if you haven't. Take this second to just subscribe down below and press also at the notification bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video. 80% of people who consume my videos have not subscribed. I get a lot of views, but the subscribers don't match the views. So please subscribe. So today we're talking about red flags. I have found myself in shitty situations, in toxic relationships, in bad situations, and I vowed never to go back, never to find myself how to never to undervalue myself like that. So I look out for red flags. And even right now I'm dating, even the guy I'm dating, I had to look out for those things, tukijuana. And even now, even before even I met him, people I was going out with, there are things I used to look for. And I am not perfect. You are not perfect. We are not the easiest people to please. I have my own routine. I have my own background. We have our own differences. We are from different careers. We maybe operate in different worlds professionally. So I'm not saying that you have to genuinely meet someone. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I don't have my red flags. Probably I do. But people maybe who've gone out with me would talk about them. But then ignoring red flags will cost you. And most people who find themselves in shitty situations, like I would find myself, ignore red flags. You want so much to see the good in people, but then you don't focus on reality, you focus on their potential. But we are focusing on reality. I would not focus on what you will be 2 months from now. I'm focusing on what you're doing today, right this minute. So let's talk about red flags. And these are some of my red flags. I want you to comment down below with some of your red flags, what you look out for. And I feel like I want to say the reddest flag for you, like the worst of them all for you. Like which one can you not forgo? So the idea is seeing the red flag and raising it, like saying, I don't like what you did. Like it's unacceptable that you hung up on me like that just because I did not agree with what you're saying. You raise it, you raise the issue. What's the red flag about? For example, if I'm going out with you and it's been a month, we're getting to know one another, and then I realize you slept with my friend. Wow, that's a done deal for me. So red flags are really not like as extreme, but they are warning signs. They are signs that if you don't address it, it can affect the relationship negatively long term, or the relationship might not even go far. The number one red flag for me is if I'm unhappy more times. Like I'm unhappy more than I'm happy. Like if the bad outweighs the good. It's been 2 months, you're getting to know someone, or 3 months or a month, but then we are fighting most of the time. Most of the time we're not talking to one another. We are disagreeing most of the time. Most of the time I'm sad. I'm Googling things on internet when he doesn't talk to you for 3 days. That's what we do. That's a sign. That's a red flag. Or when he's mad at you, when he hangs up on you. Advice on how to make him talk to me more. Like that's what we type. Like the things you find in search engines of especially single women are crazy. Like, how to stop crying over a guy you just met. Yeah, I've been there before, so I know these things, and don't you dare defend yourself. Anyway, if I'm unhappy more times, that's a red flag. The first time days in a relationship, or the first times when you're getting to know someone, they're usually at their best behavior. So whatever they're doing is their best behavior. You imagine dating them for another 6 months. Unatoka hapo, you've lost a lot of weight, you have depression, you're taking antidepressants, you are a mess, you've lost yourself and your self-esteem. That's a red flag for me. Raise those issues. Give them ultimatums. Tell them, like, I'm sorry, but it's unacceptable how when we fight, you just go for 5 days without talking to me. It's not right, and I'm sorry, I won't take it anymore. Let me tell you one thing I learned. The first time someone disrespects you, it's their fault. It's on them. The second time you allow it, it's on you. It is your fault for selling yourself short, for lowering your self-worth, and for taking disrespect. The first time they disrespect you, you stand up for yourself. Hey, I don't like you calling me names, even if we were arguing. Don't tell me I'm stupid. It's wrong, and I don't accept it, and I would never call you stupid. So don't do that again. I'm not stupid, and I expect you to work on your conflict solving skills. I don't expect that we are arguing or we're having a fight, and you think the best way to solve this fight is you calling me stupid or calling me illiterate and those things. Raise it when you see it. Don't wait at acha nione kama atarudia. Tell him. However, how you tell him also matters. How you communicate. Don't communicate to destroy. Communicate to build. And women, I will talk about this at some point. Probably by the time this video is going on, I'll have talked about it. Emotional maturity. Oh, we are such emotional messes. Don't include your emotions when you're raising a red flag. When you're telling, for example, I don't appreciate you hanging up on me just because I said something you did not like, or just because you don't agree with my point, or because, I don't agree with that. I feel it's not right. I feel there are better ways of handling conflict. I feel, at least tell me, let's talk about it later. But I have a problem with you going quiet on me. Raise it like that. I feel undervalued. I feel unappreciated. I would appreciate more if we talked about our issues like grown-ups, Don't start saying, no, you don't even talk to me. What is wrong with you? My ex also did the same things to me. Don't. I see myself so much. I used to do those things so much. God is good. Yes, so if you're unhappy more times, it is a red flag. Raise it. Talk about it. So also, if the other person calls the shots all the time, like it's about them, where you're gonna go for lunch, what time you're gonna go for lunch, which day you're gonna go for lunch, what you should not wear, what you should wear. I don't like you going to those chamas. I don't want you going to watch football at Nyayo Stadium when I'm not there. Why are you going when I'm not there? When everything is about the other person. When they want to really control your life like that, that's a red flag. You're an independent person. You found them when you're an adult, they were an adult. You still need to continue doing things that you were doing when you were single, when you were meeting them. You still need to have your personal space to still do the things that bring you your energy, your positive vibes and good energy. You still have to do those. You still need that environment to do those things. But if you meet someone and they want to control your every move, like what time you leave work, I've been in that situation before. What time you leave work, by 5 minutes you should be in the house. Why did you go to pass by your friends without telling me? Okay, but I thought you were going to your friends tomorrow. You should have told me that you're going today. You know what I mean? If they call the shot in that relationship, if you have to follow their everything, they have to decide what you're gonna wear, they have to decide where you're going, which day you're going for your manicure, they have to take you for your manicure. If they call the shots more, and you have to always flow with their routine, and always you don't have a voice, basically, that's a red flag. Raise it. Tell him, you know what, I love you and I like how this is going. However, I feel you're too controlling, and I feel like this relationship is preventing me from being myself and from doing things that I love to do. So it's not a good thing for me, and I appreciate if you just back off a little bit. Let me be. Let us create our own time, you and I, but I need to be the person I was even before I met you. You understand? Raise it. The issue is the red flags, you raise them. If he does not, then bye-bye. If he does not hear, if he still wants to control you. Also, there are those people who you cannot have, nothing is up for negotiation. Everything is just cast on stone, like they've stamped it. You cannot. And when you tell them you feel they're too controlling, I feel like you want to control me too much, it's not healthy. It's not what I want. And moving forward, if it happens again, I'm sorry, I don't think I will be able to, to still be in this relationship with the same conditions. If they're not willing to listen, and if they want to argue with you, and there are those people who, if they're doing something wrong and you point it out, now they're mad at you, and now you have to start begging them, cut it kabisa. cut that relationship. Like, I need to be heard. I have a voice, I have a life, I have my own career, I have things I'm doing with my life. So you have also things you're doing with your life. You cannot mess with my life like that. You want to disrespect me, but when I raise it, now you're angry because I found out you disrespected me, and now it's a fight again about why I told you. Stop. Like, you're better than that. You can do better. And that's why I say, know your worth, know your self-worth, know what you're bringing to the table. If someone is disrespectful, is mean, they say mean things, even to the waiter. They call the waiter the B word. They are talking, when they're talking on the phone with their subordinate staff or with their colleagues, they're so mean to them. They call them names. They tell you, you look funny in that dress. Why do you put on makeup? Or you look like I don't know what. If they're disrespectful to you, especially in your face, and they mean it, and they are mean people, they will tell you such mean things. Why are you not picking my calls? Which man were you talking to? No, you can tell me. If you're cheating, those people who are so utterly, they're disrespect you in your face, they're shameless. If someone is disrespect and they're mean, they want to tell you such mean things about maybe women in your career. Women in your career are slutty. This waiter is behaving how, what is wrong with you? People who are just mean, who are utterly disrespectful, they will disrespect, they have no boundaries, they can just tell you anything. They will want to tell you mean things about your body, about how you go about your business. They will want to demean you, and to shrink you into nothing. When it starts, raise it. When it continues, stop. We're talking about when you're getting to know someone. But if they become disrespectful too much in a relationship with them, you would probably go for, seek help from someone. Yes. But like I said, the first time someone disrespects you, it's on them. The second time you allow it to happen, it's on you. You are the one who's doing that to yourself. So, this one is another one. If he talks bad about his ex-partners or his ex-girlfriends. For example, he says things like, mi mwanaume hawezi nirudishia ati kukuja kuniuliza maswali. Alikuwa anakuja kuniongelesha na mweka kofi. Ujue pia wewe atakuweka kofi. Yes. Bad behavior, past bad behavior will eventually come back to you. Or he could say things like, I emptied her, nili empty your bank account yake, because those things he talks about, he will do those things to them. I have been in relationships before where the guy was like, that woman was slutty, that woman was doing this, she had loved money, she she was like this. He used to say such bad things about the ex-girlfriend. But those are the things he says about me now. Exactly what he told me about her. You understand? But then someone can also, like, I have been in toxic relationships. And I say things that other people did to me, especially on this channel. However, I also talk about working on myself, going for therapy, and realizing that when you're in a toxic situation or in a toxic space, you also become toxic to some extent. Because when you're in toxic situations and things are bad things are done to you, you develop bad coping mechanisms. You develop coping mechanisms to help you deal with the hurt and the abuse. For example, I used to shut down for like a whole week. I don't want to talk to him. And sometimes when he's mean, he calls me names. I used to call him names back. So when I went through my healing, I realized he had somehow turned me into him. And I had to work on myself. I had to cleanse myself. I had to recover from that man and from those relationships. So I talk about things they used to do and how they were, but at the same time, I worked on myself. I did, and I know why I got in those relationships, and I know I would never get into another relationship like that. I know when someone starts calling me names, I don't let them change me into themselves by starting to call them name back. You understand? I stop. I raise it. If you cannot stop calling me names, then I'm done. I will not let you make me toxic, because that is what happens mostly when you're in a toxic situation. You become toxic. We are also saying we are victims. I'll also say that we are victims of narcissists. We're victims of pathological liars. We're victims of an emotionally unavailable men. But we enable them, and to some extent, they turn you into them. So when he talks bad about his ex-partners, but then he would not change it. Like, I talk bad about things that happened, and I also say things that I did in that relationship to cope with that man. But I worked on myself such that I know a healthy relationship, and I know I want a healthy relationship, and I know I'm at a good place to be in a healthy relationship. So how they talk about their ex, there are people who even say things like, you can meet a guy and then he tells you things like, I messed up with that one. I was terrible to her, and and she found someone better. That is someone who knows he lost a good woman. Sometimes, and then you meet people who tell you, I dated her, it ended because I felt like I lowered my standards. I felt like she was not what I was looking for, and it eventually ended. But people who call their ex-girlfriends mean names, who tell you they would do what they did to them over and over again, people, as a human being, as a normal human being, with values and with character, there are things we do that we're not proud of, but at some point in life you realize, I should not have done that. Like, I feel there are things I did I shouldn't have done, and I know I will not. I know chances of doing them again are close to nil. This one, he does not want to commit. He just wants you to be his friend, but you're playing the girlfriend role with wife expectations. You're setting yourself for heartbreak. And the reason he does not want to commit to you is because he hasn't found someone he wants to commit to. He doesn't want to commit to you. To you, he's silent. He tells you, I'm still finding myself. I'm busy with my career and school. He's busy with nothing. If he finds someone he's into, he will commit like this. It's a red flag. And you don't have to beg someone to commit to you, to be loyal to you. Those are not things you beg for. Those are bare minimum. Love yourself. Those are bare. You don't even need, you don't even think about it. I think that's not a red flag for me. I think that's a deal breaker for me. Like, we've been going out for 2-3 months, and then you're still saying, I'm still figuring things out. You're still figuring this out, but you want me to give you girlfriend benefits. Then you need to, elevate yourself to the boyfriend level. So, if he does not want to commit, if you find yourself, do not ask a man, what are we? Do not ask, what are we? Read the signs. Read the signs. Love yourself such that when you realize who you, things are not right, you walk. If he does not want to commit, there's nothing you can do. And you cannot keep a man who does not want to be kept. So there's this question I saw, if she was a good woman, would you have cheated? Yes, he would have cheated, because people don't behave the way they behave because of another person. That is who he is as a person. That is his character. He's a cheater. If someone cheats on me, it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with your character. Because you shouldn't have cheated on me if I did something. You raise it. If I don't acknowledge, we work on it. We work on the relationship. If it's not working for you, we end it, and then you go look for someone else. You don't cheat on me. We're in the same relationship, and then blame it on me. If he does not want to commit, he wants to keep his options open with other people, you deserve better. You can do better. Love yourself enough. Raise your self-esteem to stop asking men, what are we? I want to date you. So, if they also isolate you from your friends and family. I've been isolated before, where he says mean things about your friends. They're slutty, they're leading you the wrong way, they're not good friends to have, you need better friends. About your family, they're too much. You shouldn't just engage with your family anytime you feel like they will influence you. If someone is isolating you, they're isolating you so they can abuse you, so you have no one to run to, because they've already made you cut ties with everyone else. If they isolate you from your friends and family, if they just want you for themselves, they're selfish, they're controlling, and they will do things to you. They have issues they need to work on. And we said, you remember what we said? We are not rehabilitation centers for broken men. You will not come and isolate me from my life. You'll not find me. I've been friends with, like Joanjiko, I've been friends with her for 10 years. And then I'm supposed to stop my friendship because what? Because you don't feel comfortable. Not because they don't feel comfortable. And actually, if they did something, it's up to me to make that decision. It's not your decision to make. Make decisions with your friends. I will make decisions with my friends. If they isolate you, if you cannot hang out with your friends like you used to, if you cannot visit even your relatives, your grandma, if you cannot live your life the way you are living with your circle before you met him, something is not right and you need to address it and you need to stand up for yourself. So this one is self-explanatory. He is abusive. Is it, be it verbal abuse, emotional abuse is terrible because it messes with your head. Emotional abuse is they go quiet on you. They do something, you point it out, they're mad, they go quiet on you for a whole week. They manipulate you into thinking there's something wrong with you, you're crazy. They gaslight you. Gaslighting is when you point, maybe they're cheating on you, or they're crossing some boundaries, or they're spending your money without your approval, and you point it out, they turn the table around. They make you feel you're crazy. Nothing like that is happening. What is wrong with you? We are in a happy relationship. Why are you pointing out things? I just bought you a gift yesterday. They gaslight you. So if they're abusive, if there's physical abuse, if that guy is pushing you around, if he's slapping you around, those things, you better walk. That one is not even a red flag. That's a deal breaker. Run for your life. If there's verbal abuse, he calls your name, you're a slut. Who do you think you are? You're very stupid. Look at you. You look like your body unakaa kama waru mwili. Things we've had before. You will never go anywhere without me. That verbal abuse. You're so ugly. Another chick I know, the boyfriend used to tell her things. You're so ugly. The only thing that's helping you is makeup. If there's no makeup in this world, you'll never find anyone. Verbal abuse, physical abuse, those emotional. If there's abuse, it will mess you. And the worst part about abuse, it messes even with our physical well-being. You have depression, you lose weight, you start having ulcers, you have stress, you're taking medication left, right, and center, you get anxiety. It messes even with your physical being, especially if they're children and you're going through abuse. Because when you become a victim, point is just, that is not even a red flag. That's a deal breaker. If he's beating you, those things, if he's sleeping with your friends, those things, just cut it off. You're better than that. You can do better. Love yourself, raise your self-esteem, and don't stay with a man because he's providing for you. You can work for your children. You can get a job. You can start a business. You can ask for support from people, and people will support you. Don't stay in a bad situation that you would lose your life for, that you're going for medication for, just because he's paying rent. It's not worth it. It has never been worth it. It will never be worth it. Also, it's a red flag for me when someone does not apologize. Those people who don't apologize, they will never tell you they're sorry. They just say things like, it's unfortunate you feel that way. Well, sasa nitafanya, ushakasirika. Unajua sasa wewe ulianza kukasirika hata. They will never apologize to you. I know how sometimes I see these funny things we do on Facebook or on social media. How does she apologize? So does she know umekasirika? Apologize. And the best apology is changed behavior. Apologize and work towards being a better person. If that person never apologizes, they never find fault. And they're saints, they will never wrong you according to them. They will never apologize to you. They never want to make things better. They just don't care about your feelings. If someone does not apologize, that's a red flag. Raise it and demand for apologies. If they don't, maybe you need to say sorry to that relationship and move on. And then lack of trust. I've been in relationships where you have to even show them your missed calls from the other person, or if you're telling them, but I had a conversation with this guy, he was telling me, okay, let me see those chats. If there's lack of trust, they cannot trust you with anything. They cannot. And people who don't trust others do not trust themselves. If you see someone who does not trust themselves, they do not trust other people as well. Yes, so it's the problem in them. It's work they need to do on them. You've not given someone a reason to be disrespectful. Okay, you've not given them a reason, but for some reason they don't trust you. They feel you're out there with other people's men. They feel you are spending money wrongly. They feel you lied to them where you were. When there's lack of trust, because you will be constantly defending yourself. No, I did not meet them today. No, the reason I responded like this to this chat is because you will be constantly defending yourself. Dating insecure people, you've not given them a reason to be insecure. I would never date someone who's insecure. I would never do that, because I have done that before, dated someone like that before, and it messed me up. So those are some of my red flags. Some are deal breakers, and I've said my deal breakers here. If you're cheating on me, if you're already sleeping with other people, or if you're abusive, you're beating me, this verbal abuse, there are things that are just deal breakers outright. So the thing about red flags is seeing them and calling them out and saying how you want to be treated moving forward. Do not see things happen and you just ignore. Don't ignore. And I'm not saying when you raise them at hey, you're doing this to me, you're doing this to me. Raising them is as simple as saying, babe, I think instead of you doing this, well, how about we do this? You know what I mean? And so what you need to do is trust your gut feeling. My God, my gut feeling is so strong. Like my instinct, like I can feel this is not right. And don't ignore it. Do not. And if you're the kind of a person you see things are so wrong and you're there praying to God, do not do that. And you know, people, especially people nowadays, you hide behind spirituality, and you're busy being narcissistic and causing other people's children to be admitted in hospitals and to walk around with long-term illnesses because of things you've done to them. So trust your gut feeling. And I said this in another episode, when you find yourself praying to God to give you a sign, that is actually a sign. That praying for a sign is a sign in itself. Trust your gut feeling. When you see red flags, call them out. When she repeats twice, thrice, call it off. The first time someone does something to you, it's their fault. It's on them. The second time and that time it happens, it is on you. You are the one who's disrespecting yourself. You are lowering your values. You're ignoring your standards. You're settling for less. You understand? I'd rather be single than be miserable in a relationship. And I keep saying this. There are good men out here. There are good men out here. There are good women out here. But in return, you also have to be a good woman and a good man. Know what you're looking for from the other person. When you see red flags, call them out. When they're deal breakers, full stop. Like I say, the talking stage, the first 1 month, the first 2 months is when you're getting to know each other. Everyone is in their best behavior. But then when they start beating you at that stage and sleeping with everyone else, sleeping with their exes and doing those things, that's a deal breaker. Let's not meet people and immediately decide now this is the person I'm spending the rest of my life with. Get to know people. We are not perfect. I am not perfect. I'm not easy to deal with. We have our differences. We come from different backgrounds. But then the most important thing in a relationship, in a commitment, is every party, myself and my guy, or yourself and your girlfriend, working towards the better of that relationship, working towards making it better, doing little things for one another, trusting each other more. It's building that commitment, cultivating that connection. So if this person doesn't want to cultivate that connection, if he's disrespecting you, he has other women in his life, he's beating you, please just love yourself. Love yourself. Call them out. The red flags, call them out. If they're deal breakers, they are deal breakers, full stop. There's someone for everyone. One day someone will love you, you will not believe. And one day someone will match up your standards. So long as you also, those standards you have, those standards you're looking for from a guy, so long as you're those standards, you will find your energy. You will vibrate on the same level. It is amazing. It will be amazing. So thank you so much for watching. This has been a long video. Thank you for staying till the end. Subscribe, and also press the notification bell so you get notified every time I have a new video. I wish you all the best. Let's meet down below at the comment section.